Ladies and gentlemen, the Hive is live. Bring your vision. This is how we build 1 million cups.
Good morning, everybody. Come on in, find your seats, or stand. You know, we don't judge. Super quick. We have an amazing turnout, and we recently got a little bit of a report card that was horrifically incorrect on the amount of our attendance. But that is based off of checking in with the QR code. So if for the next few weeks we can just really make it a point to check in with the QR code, we would be incredibly grateful because, I don't know, I'm super competitive and I just want to win, and, you know, there's that. So I want a perfect score. With that being said, thank you so much for coming out on a rainy day. I mean, I guess we need it, and the snow in the mountains, but without further ado, we have Robert today, and he is with Engage Trade School. And I don't know about any of you guys, but a lot of my kids have super high student loans and all that crazy things. And then I went and married a blue-collar worker, and we make good money and have a great life. So with that being said, I just think there's such a need for that here, especially that allows children other opportunities that might not succeed in normal everyday college. So I will let him take the stage.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Robert. I am going to introduce myself a little bit, give you a little bit of my background history, and then introduce Jennifer Evans here in just a second and bring her up on stage with me as well, who is the principal of Crater Lake Academy. I own, in addition to this venture I'm starting, I own Engage Electric. And we have about a dozen employees, and we're doing projects as big as a hotel in Grants Pass with Outlier Construction, who's doing your construction across the street, to service work in industries like that. I've been in business for 8 years on my own and been in the trades, the electrical trades, for almost 20 years. I've been on the electrical apprenticeship board for 15 years, and of the last 10 years, I have taught 8 years of the electrical apprenticeship. I'm also on the interviewing panel, so if you want to become an electrician in the Rogue Valley, meaning Jackson, Josephine County, you have to pass through me and about 4 other people. With that said, I have run into a big problem that has presented itself to me over the last few years. When I entered the apprenticeship 20 years ago, it was kind of an afterthought. We all know the stories of the trades are amazing now, but they used to just be like your next option if you're not a college kid. Now that story has obviously flip-flopped, and I don't need to convince any of you of that. But I interview 150, and this year will probably be closer to 300 applicants trying to become an electrician. The trades here, to become an electrician, only about 15 to 20 people will be accepted into the trades in the Rogue Valley. And that's not because of some red tape. It's because of the demand of electricians. People say that there is a lot of need for tradesmen, and there are, but because of ratios of apprenticeships and the work demand in this slump that we're in economically, that's the demand. So I am literally interviewing hundreds of people. And what I found, this is where the big problem arose, is that the gap between high school students graduating high school and their ability to be competitive in the trades was enormous. If any of you have high school kids and you ask them to go do something mechanically inclined, I hope that you are blessed that they could mechanically do that. But my grandfather's generation was much more mechanically inclined than this generation will ever be. With that, I ran into this issue, and I was talking to a friend who teaches at the Medford High School, and ran into him at Costco, and he was so frustrated. He was pulling his hair out saying, my hands are so tied. I teach a CTE class, and I get the kids for an hour or less a day, and we're building birdhouses. These kids are not getting experience in the construction field. And I am not preparing them to enter the trades. And he's also a licensed plumber and has owned his own company. And so we got to talking, then we had coffee, and then our minds just exploded that we could fix this problem. And so we decided to get together and start making an atmosphere that high school students could have real, applicable construction experience, not just an introduction that they keep getting at the public schools. And that is where Miss Jennifer Evans came into play. And we have partnered with CLA, which is Crater Lake Academy. Do you want to speak a little bit about the school?
Crater Lake Academy is a charter school. Our charter host district is Eagle Point. But what we set out to do is provide a public education in a different way. So the mission of charter schools is to be innovative, to think of what are our current needs as society and how do we answer that in a different way in education, hoping that some of what we try and what we do will then transfer to other schools. Good ideas will stick and spread. So what we offer at Crater Lake Academy for high school students is a flexible attendance model. So we combine online learning with in-person class and supports. So that online learning allows independent learners to be more efficient with their time and their education. But then we offer in-person supports and the opportunity for peers to collaborate and interact with their teachers and to still have a school community where they feel engaged. Engaged, yes, I know, it's a good word. Where we can really think about outside the box. It frees up time for students to have other opportunities. And this is where our partnership with Engaged Trade School comes in, is that our students will have the opportunity to participate for not just an hour, but for extended amounts of time to dive a little deeper into construction content. Good recap?
Perfect. Thank you so much. That is I've presented our problem, our solution. I would love to get into the nuts and bolts of how we're doing this, and I have some amazing kind of insights. I'm going to share those insights just shortly, and then we'll open it up to questions. Some of the unique things about this trade school that is not being done anywhere else that I know of in this state is that we are compiling it to be very similar to an apprenticeship. For example, a high school student will accrue hours in a specific subject of construction. So he'll get 500 hours of electrical work. He'll get 500 hours of HVAC, plumbing, concrete, siding, roofing, and every other aspect of construction. Also, what was very important to me is that we will have a grit scale when they graduate. Now, through CLA, they are going to get a high school diploma and get all their credentials and things met through them as a regular high school. But with the Engaged Trade School certificate or diploma, they will receive a whole portfolio or resume with all of their experience behind it, with their grit scale factor, which I would love to tell you my grit scale test, and examples. One of the other things that really solidifies something different from our trade school to others is we are partnering with all the leaders of construction here, the industry leaders. So we are partnered with Outlier Construction, which was eager to sign. If you look on our table, the table you have, there is a letter of support signature, where we're looking for letters of support from people in the construction field and industry. So if you're a web designer, that's great. I would love your letter of support, but that's not what I'm looking for. We are looking to partner with industry leaders. So for example, Metal Masters came to us. We came to them and said, we want to do this. And they jumped up and down and got their CEO, CFO, and they got together in the room. And they said, our biggest problem is that we can't hire anyone under 25 because of insurance. And we said, great, we can roll into this a driver's ed course that will work with your insurance to help lower the insurance costs to graduating students. They said, great. That's just one example of the feedback that we can get from industry leaders. Another benefit of those industry leaders is they come and scout our graduating students. They come and help teach classes. Pressure Point Roofing, oh yeah, they are on there, has said, yeah, we'd love to put on a roofing class with you. We'll teach all these things. It'll be a 6-week course, and we'll do those things. And at the same time, we will develop a relationship with your students where that student can then move on. The trade school, even though I'm an electrician, it is not an electrical pre-apprenticeship program. And my logo is the same, very close to the same, and my name is the same, but it is meant to help students bridge the gap between graduation of high school and entering the trades, because that gap is huge. In addition to that, as soon as we have this under our belt, we will be expanding to ages 18 to 25 because I can get grant funding for those things, and teaching roofing classes and siding classes. And we'll have these 6-week punch bullet courses where someone who is trying to get into the trades that has no career path, that has no direction or connection to that, can go to this, take these courses, either self-pay or get grants, which there's lots of grants out there to get paid for, and get their foot in the door and say, Pressure Point, I have already gone through Engage's 6-week course of this. And Pressure Point says, oh yeah, we put that on, or we sponsor it. We have stamped our approval that said this is of value. And so with those local industry leaders, we've created a solidified process and school that has credibility to produce a path into the construction field, which hasn't been there before. So with all of that, I'll open it up to questions.
Alrighty, guys, who's got questions?
I have lots of holes and gaps and things that I haven't said yet, so.
Okay, 3 things.
Yes.
1, thank you. This is excellent. It's needed for our community. It's needed for our kids. I love it. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
2, there's a lot of programs for foster youth and young people in the community already, and I just want to make sure you guys are in touch with them. I feel like I want you to come to the Chamber Greeters meeting that's right before this on Wednesday, and just like let them know you exist, and a bunch of people will come up and like want to like plug you into what they have already going on. And number 3, this might be...
You only get 3.
I know, I know. This might be me just not following, but I'm not clear on the logistical process of this. Like if I know high schoolers, which I do, exactly how this plugs into kids that are already in a high school. Is it supplemental? In what way? Like how is it actually working?
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question. Thank you for comment 1. I'm gonna ask question 2, and then we'll jump into 3. Question 2, what was the question? Oh, yes. I want to make one very specific point. There are foster programs out there that take troubled or disconnected youth. We are not that. We are looking for the best of the best. The youth that know I want to be in the trades of whatever aspect they want and are committed to be that. We are partnering with the top industry leaders, and we want the best of the best. So although both missions are great, we have a different mission. And yes, we love Youth 751, Walking Tall. Those are other programs that are very similar. Last but not least, and maybe Jennifer can jump into this as well, but the difference between a charter school and a public school is a public school, and I'm gonna be frank in my opinion, public schools is you're getting babysat half the time. In a charter school, you, especially CLA, which I love, my son who's 16 goes there and is thriving, is that the schedules are much more flexible to be able to be molded into a career path development, meaning that they have the flexibility to create curriculum, expand curriculum, channel career paths in different directions. Do you have anything to add to that?
This is my passion, yes. Okay, so I have to clarify a little bit. Charter schools are public schools. They are. So charter schools are public schools. We're bound by the same laws. We teach to the same standards. But there are some ORSs that do not apply to us that allow us the flexibility to set up our programs in a creative way, like Robert and his family benefit from. Okay, but as far as students gaining access to this program and then the trade school through Crater Lake Academy and then that partnership, what that looks like is that at there'll be two different levels. So one, there will be an elective that is a little more basic and exploratory that students can participate in, so that way they can know if it's an interest for them, right? So maybe they were told they were hands-on, someone said they were mechanical, but is that an interest or a passion for them, without having to fully commit all of this time and energy into a direction that maybe they don't know if they want to go yet, because high school is still very much about that. But then beyond that, there will be a more in-depth program that students apply and commit to, so they know ahead of time and their parents know ahead of time that this is going to take more hours. So kind of think FFA or something that is extracurricular. It's going to take the place of some of their elective classes in school, but then also it will take more hours outside of that because they are gaining that experience and skills that you don't just lose, but you have to put in the work to get them, right? So that's kind of how we're going to present. We have started presenting, and how students in high school can access that. Because our model is flexible, that's where we're able to kind of accommodate both those who are introductory and just exploring, but also for those who have developed skills and this is their career path. Then we've mapped out time in our schedule for them to be able to access that. We have partnerships with Klamath Community College and Rogue Community College that back this career path. So I know Robert is working on the RCC side.
Colleges, dual credit for college things. Does that answer that question?
I think, though, just to clarify,
Yes.
you have to be enrolled at your charter school to gain access to this program. This is not available to outside high schools.
Not currently, right. Now, I do want to expand someday to Grants Pass area and to Klamath Falls and as many places as we can. But currently, the way it's set up to make sure that funding and abilities and practicalities it's through the charter school.
Sorry, the access piece. So our enrollment process is that any family right now can go to our website and fill out an intent to enroll form. That is not a registration form, but it basically says we have an intent to enroll, and then we schedule tours of our campus where I give the tour and we go over what our program looks like at CLA. We talk about Engage Trade School and our other opportunities. But that's kind of the process where someone would go. Because we're a charter school, we can enroll from out of district. And so that does increase accessibility to our community in general.
And behind you, there's a wonderful QR code. If you scan that, it'll take you to our website, which will give you an opportunity to donate, become an industry partner, or enroll in CLA. And there's tabs for each of those that takes you right to your website. Yes. Eventually down the road, we don't want to be in competition with CLA, who we love. So we wouldn't open up a charter school right next door. But yes, that's eventually, Grants Pass is an untapped area for us that I don't believe would be in any competition there, in conflict. Yes.
Okay, I noticed you had 4 industries up there. I didn't see.
Totally, that was just the logos I could throw up here.
Oh,
we have
okay.
dozens.
Do you, I was going to say, do you have like
and we
road
want more.
construction?
Right, we do. We have
Okay.
everyone I talk to signs up unless there's a bit of a union conflict, which I have run into, which I'm not a big fan of. But this is a different discussion. Yes.
As the son of a tradesman, thank you for what you're doing.
Son of a tradesman.
Yeah, I didn't follow in his footsteps, unfortunately, so don't catch me with that. So I think touching on something, a big thing that I saw in my generation and maybe just slightly before me was the push for college. Trades were largely ignored when I was in school, and they were seen differently than they are now because we had a lot of trades, or, well, more than now back then. Is that something that you would agree with, you've seen, or do you think it was a different split that started causing things like that?
So I have an associate's degree in construction management through RCC, and I took lots of paths through that, which gained me skills in AutoCAD. I have an AutoCAD certificate, the management piece. So I value education very much, and to couple education with construction in a management place or a software place is a huge benefit. Not to say that it can't be done, but there's benefits of both. As far as the question of when did I see the split, or if I see a split, there's definitely a direction change in value and socially promoted value. So yes, I definitely see that. Both are important. Yeah, I see hands going up all over the place. Over there. Thanks. I'll follow the microphone. You have to follow the hands.
Claudia, my question by clarifying that currently this is available through Crater Lake and the charter school.
Correct.
But you use the example of like FFA, and is there an opportunity to make your model a little bit more like FFA to where kids from any school could enroll in a program? I'm going to be a little bit selfish. I mean, we're in Grants Pass and Josephine County.
Totally.
What can we do to help you build access for kids in Josephine County?
I'll say one thing and I'll let you steal it because I know you're going to rip it from me. A little bit of the dynamic of that is that I'm trying to get students away from school for 20 hours a week. I want them to have real hands-on built technical skills, as though a soccer player would spend hours and hours practicing and gain a skill. It's not about an introduction to, it's a can you hold a drill and can you dig a ditch? I mentioned earlier, but my grit test at the end of graduation is can you dig a 2-foot deep trench, 30 feet long, and how much do you complain about it? I was using my construction words. How much you complain about it and how fast you can do it. And we are grading people on their physical, mental, and quite frankly, their emotional ability to be in construction. It's a different animal. As far as can it be bolted on to other places like FFFA, there's too many F's in there. The answer is maybe yes, but I don't know how to do that in my current model.
There is a little bit of a hang up as far as, so the question has been asked a few times, do they have to access this, they have to be enrolled in Crater Lake Academy? Yes, because that's how it's set up. But like FFA, FFA has, there are classes during the day, and then there's extracurricular time outside of that. The problem that we run into, and that's not just Crater Lake Academy, it's any school in the state of Oregon, is that students can't be dually enrolled in 2 different high schools. So we can dually enroll in, I can have a high school student who's dually enrolled at RCC and at our high school, but I can't have them dually enrolled with another school. So the state kind of prohibits that interaction because one school is claiming money and then the other one wants money for the service they're providing. And that partnership or an avenue to have that just doesn't exist yet. But we'll see what happens with the trade school and how we're able to offer different things moving forward.
Okay, and
if that helps.
We'll give the microphone back to Claudia, but the funding piece, are you engaged with Rogue Workforce Partnerships or Southern Oregon Youth Works?
Yes, we are. I met with Tyler and someone else last week. Both, yes. But yes, we are getting funding from them, and thank you. That's a key piece of our ability to do this, is the funding, publicly and privately.
Quick question. I saw something that said only 25% of students read and write and do math at their class level in public schools. So there is some measurement and things that happen, I imagine, in the trades. But you mentioned the element, not just, you said you want the best of the best of the best. But some of the people may have the aptitude or the attitude or the emotional. And how much does that go into it as opposed to, well, I'm a C student, not A student?
My best of the best has nothing to do with reading or spelling. If you put me in front of a spelling bee, I would be the worst one here. That is not my measure of success or best of the best. So when I say best of the best, I'm referencing, I can shout over you. The best of the best for me is someone that is focused, determined, and has the best ability. The best athlete is not the best anything else. The best construction worker. Thank you. Now I don't have to shout.
We were sharing okay.
We were. Yeah, the best of the best is just someone that is going to show up and take the program seriously.
because I was talking to a friend who's 715, and they said some of the young guys who graduated high school, I don't know what I'm doing, am I working at Kmart, that when they got into the program, it gave their life purpose and meaning, and they felt it just solved a lot of emotional problems and a path forward. So,
Totally.
you know, some of the kids may not look like, you know, but
My
you
filter
give
for the
them
best
a
of the best is
pathway
much
and they
different
will
than
grab
most
it and go.
Totally. And I don't mean to disqualify anyone at Youth 751 or any other program that is reaching out to quote unquote troubled youth or misdirected youth. Construction, just the right direction for anyone, no matter what it is, will make them the best of the best in that thing. So absolutely. Thank you for that comment.
Okay. You have contractors that do it, you know, like building buildings and that. Do you have finished contractors that are teaching kids how to build cabinets and do moldings and install doors?
We are
and all
looking
that?
for industry partners that can facilitate. What industry partner does, one, is gives input and feedback to our class and what they want. Two, provides opportunities and projects so that we have real world projects. We're taking a shop all the way down to its studs, rebuilding it, and building their own school off-site, for one. Again, finished tradesmen, finished carpentry, cabinetry, we're looking for industry partners that we could go to their place and use their cabinetry stuff for 6 weeks and go through that. So yes, every aspect of construction is what we're trying to educate the kids on.
Are you limited to just construction, or are you doing other things?
Right now, it's just construction. We would love to open up an automotive department in time that goes over tractors and diesels and all those things, but that's not our focus right now.
Because I painted cars for 45 years, and I taught high school students how to paint their cars. And
Love it.
I taught them how to sand and do body work, and taught them how to actually paint their own car. And it made a big difference as far as...
Huge difference.
Yeah.
The right direction is the best direction. Totally.
Yeah.
Yep. Love that.
You started off talking about the 300 applicants for actual trade apprenticeships, and then
That's just electrical trade apprenticeship.
just electrical. My brother just went through this process in Portland. Literally 300 applicants. They took 15. He was number 17, and he has experience as a mason. Like, you're looking for the best of the best. You still only have 15
I understand.
spaces.
I understand.
So I understand the pipeline problem, but also there's not a lot of room in that pipeline.
No, so honestly, I love my career and it is amazing. But when I talk to high school students, I really try to broaden their horizon to say, listen, the electrical, everybody and their mother thinks that electricians are as cool as Superman. I really encourage them to spread out and look at HVAC, look at all these things, or do HVAC for 5 years and then try to get into electrical apprenticeship. But to try to compete, I just hired an apprentice. He's from Australia, really cool Crocodile Dundee guy. He's been an electrician for 15 years, and he had to start at the bottom because Oregon is Oregon. And he is now my first period apprentice, and he has 15 years of experience. There's no one that's gonna compete against that that's never done electrical work. So you have things like that, military, you have 10-year veterans of construction, but this trade school will boost them to even get into any trade or to get into experience to get into another trade as well.
Because we don't have a lot coming through, we're going to have a large gap in between.
Yes, exactly.
So our dads did it, but like my generation and my daughter's generation in their 30s, there's not a lot of tradesmen. So these
Correct.
kids, there's going to be a gap.
There's still gonna be a gap, right, but this is gonna make it smaller.
This is going to be the ones that's going to fill it.
Exactly. And these are going to be the one, if I'm an industry leader and I say, oh my goodness, look at this, all this, and you have your OSHA 30 card and you're forklift certified trained, and you've done electrical and plumbing and you've done all this and you know the science behind concrete, oh my goodness, yes, here. Or they might graduate and go to OIT and get a construction program there. It just opens up the doors for them so much broader.
I would also like to add that sometimes without that experience, what happens after high school for a lot of kids is that they're lost and they don't know where to go or direct that energy or their goals, But if they're connected with industry partners, they're already possess some skills and some confidence, and they're committed to that long-term goal. I think over time we're investing in a workforce that maybe you don't get there next year. But I now realize I've talked to Pressure Point Roofing. I've interacted with them. I've been to their sites, and I know that I'm going to have to work this entry-level job for a few years because that's how it works. So I think for young people, I think it fills a gap of being lost and lacking in confidence. So then that can be more of a directed path too.
And we are producing courses postgraduate, 18 to 24, that are 6-week courses that we are getting funding from Workforce Ready and doing different things to even boost those beyond graduation, and to help bridge those gaps, all the heavy equipment, things like that.
Thank you guys very much for what you do. I'm a retired teacher.
Good.
So I know what you're going through.
Back at you. Thanks.
Yeah, I started teaching in New York where every kid had to go to high school. I mean, 8th grade, they were passing their state tests because we were a preparatory school. Moved to western side of Colorado, and nobody did homework, I was told. And I learned why after living there for 11 years. They went out and they made their way hunting and ranching and building. And my husband himself is a tradesman. He's a tile installer. And so I appreciate what you're doing because I've worked with those kids who have no direction. And they don't know that they don't have to go.
So I'm part of the Women in Trades group between North and South Medford High School, and we meet every month and we talk about that. And the career path to get into the trades has just been this ghost of a mystery. That get on with somebody if you know somebody, and we're trying to connect those dots. And that's the same issues that the Women in Trades group has, is that they are trying to interview and connect and just network. And usually it's been a very male-dominated industry where some of the best, your husband's a tile setter. I know an amazing woman tile setter who does works of art. It's amazing, and so
I'll get her name from you.
Right? the things are changing and things are moving on. But yes, thank you for that comment.
Jennifer, for you, how many? What is your enrollment, and how many can you take into your school?
Our current enrollment in our high school is 155. We are a K through 12 school, but in our high school is 155, and we're looking to grow to 190 next year.
Okay. And then out of those students, you take 15 into your program?
No, so I hope I
If
didn't
it's
confuse anybody by
advanced?
the apprenticeship, the electrical apprenticeship that covers Jackson and Josephine County. The union doors are closed, so they're not accepting that. That 15 acceptance was only for the electrical apprenticeship. It has nothing to do with my electrical company. It's just the whole apprenticeship program of this area.
Okay.
So at our school, so if you think we project to have 190 students, typically when we survey students, we survey them twice a year, and we're a small school, so very connected to all of our kids and what their interests are. But we have about a third of our students who are interested in college. We have about a third who are interested in the trades, and another third who want to enter the workforce directly. And so we've set up a program called Advanced Learning that is really for kids, because we want all of our students to graduate high school with more than a high school diploma. So how are we equipping that workforce group? How are we equipping those who are interested in the trades? And that's what we'll funnel to Engage Trade School. And so it'll be a good chunk of kids getting to experience this and expand in their area of passion. And so it should be great.
Okay, we're going to do 2 more questions and then wrap it up.
Okay.
Hi. So you say you're looking for partnerships in the trades, etc. I'm wondering, are there any federal programs that maybe tax break programs or whatever for employers that might partnership with you?
That's a great question. I don't know. I would be interested to know of all of those interesting networking questions that could.
Called research.
Well, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. I think I'll assign that right back at you.
I do think that making donations to a nonprofit is also usually beneficial.
Very beneficial.
And in this case, nonprofit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for what you do. My son actually did the Walking Tall program for a couple
Great.
years.
My son
which
was in
is-
that for years also.
Yeah,
It's
it's an
great.
amazing program. If anybody has, especially for homeschool kids who can't do public school or charter schools, and they do. Walking Tall has a program where they do. I don't want to create competition, obviously.
There's
but-
no competition. Different
Yeah,
animal.
They're great.
But yeah,
We're
it's a
friends.
totally different
Yes.
thing. They go at night. They feed them dinner, dessert. They do like cars,
Great mentorship.
woodworking, welding, everything, and it's all free, which is amazing. But for kids, for older teens, like 18 and up, like you were saying, what are your plans, and how would that work with, like what would the mechanics be like? Mechanics.
Your question specifically is how does it work in correlation with those things, or
No, like how would an older teen or 18-year-old end up? do
Okay,
your
so
program?
good question. So post high school or someone that's not enrolled in CLA. Is that the question?
Right.
So we are expanding that. We're first getting our pavement down and foundation with CLA, and then every quarter we're offering a 6-week course in a specific area like roofing or concrete that is hopefully funded by Workforce Ready or donations or a combination of the beneficiary. We're trying to do that every quarter to have a 6-week course in that. That would be ages 18 to 24.
Right. Okay.
So that is on the horizon, and yeah.
Nice. Yeah. If you like, I would try to read. If you've ever talked to anybody at Walking Tall, the two founders,
Is it Tom
Tom and
Walker?
Judy,
Right.
they're amazing. They would be totally interested in what you guys do.
Yes.
And I think they're trying to start girls program as well
Love it.
sometime in the future. So.
Walking even taller.
All right.
'Kay.
Let's go. Thank you so much for everything. And I guess the last question that we will always ask you guys is, what is it that we can do for you?
I was waiting for that question. I've been eager for it. I'll go first, and then you can wrap up. We are looking for industry partners. Again, what industry partners do is they provide us projects and work opportunities. They can provide funding. We would love money that goes towards, I just bought a bus. I just bought a big trailer. I need to buy tools. I need to buy insurance. I have to pay. All these different aspects cost money. And my passion is fueling a lot of that right now. But hopefully that will come full circle. So industry partners that are in the construction field that are wanting to help and give back. 2, money is always great. Any other networking connections, and also spread the word for enrollment. We need students. We want to provide this information to everyone. And then, eventually we want a charter school here in the Grants Pass area. I don't think I have the capacity to pull it off this year, but if it was the right fit, we could potentially do that with another charter school here in Grants Pass.
My ask is just spread the word. So I think with any new idea, I love this because I think it solves problems for kids, but also for our community. And so just spread the word on what we're doing. If there are families that are interested, send them our way, send them to both of our websites. And we're happy to talk about the ins and outs and the details of what we do. But connecting community partners, what their needs in the workforce are, with what's happening in education, with the career path forward and bridging that gap, I think is a phenomenal collaboration. So the more people know and the more people engage in the conversation, the better we all serve our community. So just spread the word. And if you're interested, you know where to find us.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Wow, awesome. Yes, big hand for our new proud members of the Orange Mug Club. Congratulations to you both. The only way to get one of these orange mugs is to be on the stage. That's right. So you also can come present and get one of these amazing orange. Do you love your orange mug already?
I love it.
I mean, already you're connected to this,
I'm feeling
right?
the good vibes. Thank you.
So Fantastic.
Hang out with teenagers.
I wanted to, point out just a little bit of the obvious of what I saw this morning, which is there was, someone who's a domain expert in their field that had this crazy idea to solve a problem that existed, right? Then they reached out to someone else who is a domain expert in their field and said, hey, I got this crazy idea. And then that partnership enabled this new thing to happen, right? They created something brand new by coming together and building this thing together. So all of that exists in this room. Everyone, like if you have a crazy idea that would be amazing in your industry or in an adjacent industry that you're working in, there's someone in this room that either you can partner with to make that happen or knows who you should partner with to make that happen and can make an introduction. So just keep that in mind. We got to get better at making crazy things happen here, right? And this is a great example of what can happen when two awesome people. I'm actually curious. I want to ask the question. What was that first conversation like? Like, crazy energy came to you and was like, listen, I got this thing. And you were like.
It's exactly what it was
like. Whoa, okay, yeah. Did I do good?
It was great.
All right,
Uh-huh.
okay.
That's exactly how it went. So, I have asked Robert to do an industry chat at our school before. He's also a parent. And so he came in one day and said, hey, I got a crazy idea. Can you put me on your calendar? And I said, hey, I have time right now. And so he was like, I did not have all the details all worked out, but this is where I'm at. And I said, that sounds awesome. So I have the details that you don't have, and you have the details that I think would be awesome for students. So, and then the collaboration went from there, and we brought in some more people to work out the details, and
just kept going.
Fantastic. Yeah. Also, watch throwing shade at the public schools, my guy.
I know. So, just for the record, charter schools are public schools, everyone.
Have you visited Grants Pass High School? I mean, come
they do
on.
a phenomenal
we got
job,
amazing
too.
programs here in our public schools.
Public schools are amazing.
Yes,
Sorry.
there you go.
And
if you want to expand your program, you might want to work with some public schools, too.
I have tried. Trust me.
All right. No, awesome.
Work with public schools.
We already am working with public schools.
Other public schools.
You're the one making the mistakes.
See, there we go. We live and we learn, right? Okay.
We do.
Thank you both so much. Big hand. Big hand. And thanks for showing us a model, for what we can do if we do that. If we have crazy ideas and then choose to be like, we can make that happen. Let's do that, right? And figure it out. Exactly. And then together you guys figured it out, and thank you so much. So
you're welcome. Thank you,
awesome.
Guys.
Y'all are amazing. Thanks for being here today. We appreciate you being here. Like Claudia said, here's what I'll say. The QR code, if you scan it, we love you. We appreciate it. That does show them. But I'm going to send them a full report. There's 55 people here today. They think there's 16. So, yeah. So you can scan the QR code, but I'll also just let you know that y'all are going to get credit for being here. I'm going to let them know. I've got pictures. I got photo evidence. We got video evidence, all the things. If you ever miss a 1MC, we have a YouTube channel as well. You should go check it out, 1 Million Cups. Is it Grants Pass, I think, or Rogue Valley? One of the two. Yeah. You look up 1MC, Grants Pass, and or 1MC Rogue Valley, and you'll find it on YouTube. And so if you miss an episode, if you will, a weekly episode, you can find it there. Also, if you presented, you can most likely find it there as well. They're once in a great while, we aren't able to stream them, but we have most of them there. So thank you so much for being here. Tell your friends. We will see you next Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Have a great day.